Virgo, welcome to your hopes, fears, and reality spread. I'm kind of hoping the rain comes back because I was really enjoying it for a while there. I think like half my videos had like a huge thunderstorm going on in the background and it was really nice. And it just kind of quieted down to a little pitter patter of rain a few minutes ago. Hopefully you can still hear it. Okay. You are hoping to come out of a sense of lack for good. Like your mind is made up. You are not going to deal with whatever this energy was that you were lacking in before. You're like, you know what? That's done. I'm over it. I'm never welcoming it back. It's like I won't accept the energy of lacking in that particular area anymore. But you fear that when your energy is low, that you'll have the urge to go back to those old habits that gave you this sense of lack in the first place. So I might be talking to a Virgo here, or several, who deal with mild depression from time to time. I'm not talking about like, having to be on medication or this and that. I'm talking about where some days it just hits you so hard and you deal with it all day and then the next day you're fine. So it's more of like a mild thing. It's not a very long lasting thing. So when your energy is low, you fear that you fall back into this depression, this anxiety, this getting stuck in your head. But it's never really a permanent thing. So again, you were lacking in something for a very long time and you've decided that you're not going to deal with it anymore. And your big fear is that when your energy is low, you fall right back into that sense of lacking. So I have somebody who's hoping to manage their anxiety and their emotions better. That's who I'm talking to here. The reality of the situation is you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. There will be missed opportunities. But if you spend all your time looking at the past, these opportunities might pass you by. All anxiety stems from feeling like you can't control something, okay? So by constantly revisiting the past and knowing that you can't change it, you're causing yourself more anxiety. Okay? You don't really have a plan on how to get over that. You don't have a strategy. You don't feel like you manage your emotions well enough to stay out of this melancholy. It comes and it goes, and you feel like you have no control over it at all. Like I said, some days you can't even explain why it hits you. It just does. But dealing with this for as long as you have has given you a sense of resilience, okay? It's also given you a sense of hope. You've learned how to work with it instead of against it. But in all honesty, do you even really want to deal with it at all? Like, it's kind of like the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. You'd much rather dwell with these problems because you've gotten used to them and you kind of have a strategy of dealing with them than it would be to change your habits and deal with a whole new set of emotions or a whole new set of problems. Because ultimately, you're kind of at the end of your journey with this. You feel like it's about time to make these changes so you don't fall into this, like I said, mild depression, melancholy. You want control of your emotions rather than your emotions having control of you. So you want to get somewhere, you just don't know where to start. And you're going to keep wrestling with this dual nature within yourself. unless you really start giving to you. If I know anything about a Virgo is always willing to help somebody else, and that's a beautiful thing. But it feels to me, Virgo, like sometimes you put yourself aside and you forget to do that self-care and self-maintenance on yourself in order to help the group or maybe even a particular person. And you still want to be able to do that, but you want to be able to take care of yourself as well. This is a question of balance and priority, okay? It's not a question of emotion because you have coping mechanisms. The problem, Virgo, is that you're applying these coping mechanisms too late. You're letting this sad energy take over and linger a while before you apply these time old or these what's the word I'm looking for? These time tested, these coping mechanisms that have stood the test of time, that actually work for you, you're just applying them too late. What you need to do is you have to recognize the red flags and the signs that lead you to this melancholy feeling, this mild depression, and you have to start applying these coping mechanisms sooner so you don't completely deplete yourself of energy and then need to withdraw in order to recoup, because that's the real problem here. Okay? You've dealt with this for a long time. You've developed coping mechanisms, but you don't recognize the signs in when to apply them until it's too late. Start journaling. Start writing things down. Start asking yourself every day, how do I feel? Figure out how to apply these a little bit sooner. And before you know it, instead of your emotions going up and down in these crazy spikes and drops, these huge ebbs and flows, everything will kind of a little bit. And you'll be a lot more relaxed and you'll feel like you have a better control over your emotions. So like I said, it's not about the actual emotions themselves. It's about applying the coping mechanisms in a timely manner before it gets too rough. I hope you found a message that serves your highest good, and I'll see you next week.